Good morning, Flosstube, and welcome to Homesteading on the Home Front. This is episode number 68, and it's been 10-11 months since my last video, so I definitely wanted to pop in and catch up with you all. Hubby just left. He's working from home, so it's unusual that he is not here during the day. So I knew he was leaving, and I said, I'm filming a Flosstube. So I have everything in front of me from the past however many months. We'll get right into it. I'll do a brief life update at the end for those of you who have been with me from the beginning and might care. I went back and watched my last video, which was filmed in November. And at that time, I was at the East Hill Retreat, stitching on the farm. And I had just started this project. The only thing that I had done was the brown roof. And so now I can show you that over the past year, I have made some progress. Basically, what I tried to do, this was the part that was done in November. And I didn't really touch it until, I don't know, springtime. I tried to outline the house so that I could fill in all the shutters and the windows at retreats. And same thing, all of the blue I have filled in at retreats during the year. There's still some blue left to go. There's still the sailboat left to go. There's still all of the dark blue down here in the water that can be filled in at retreats. So basically, what I'm trying to do is stitch all of the counting here at home and save the fill-in for retreats. So this, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is what it's going to look like. I am going to be changing the words. I think I've definitely decided on the last verse of Eternal Father, which is the Navy hymn, which would be, and evermore shall rise to thee songs of praise from land and sea. So I need to chart that up so that when I get there, it's all ready for me to stitch. This has been a fun one. I am a seasonal stitcher, so I'm not sure how much is going to get done on it during the winter. I will definitely stitch on it. I have 2 retreats coming up. I'll talk more about those later, but I will stitch on it during those retreats and do the fill-in. But as far as everything else goes, I don't know. It may have to wait till spring. This next project is my newest start. I just started it 2 or 3 days ago. I wanted to participate in Sampler September, and I was busy Labor Day weekend because I'm on the board of directors of our local fair, and so it was all fair all week. And then when that finished, I kind of wanted to crash. And so I decided a new project was in order. This is Abigail Colby, which I had seen, somebody's Flosstube. And it was my unicorn. It was selling for ridiculous prices on eBay. And at a retreat I went to in April in outside of Rochester, New York, my friend Deb actually put this on the freebie table. And I went a little wild. So I nabbed it, thrilled. And then I found out in July that it's also the unicorn of another one of our friends, Luann. So I decided I was going to stitch it as soon as I could. It would be my Luann project, so that I would be thinking of her and praying for her as I was stitching on it. And then when I'm done with it, I will be passing it on. So far, this is what I have. This is what 3 nights of watching Only Murders in the Building season 3 will get you. So this is obviously this, right? And then I'm gonna see there's lots of little things. There's even a pattern for like the underside of the lid. I'm not gonna stitch that because I think it's all over one. And you guys, this chart is awful. In fact, it is so tiny that if I flash it, nobody's going to be able to stitch from it because the whole thing is on one sheet of paper and I can't read it in person. I had to take pictures of it on my phone and then blow it up that way and stitch from my phone. So it's not an easy stitch, but it's a fun stitch. I have been wanting to do this ever since we did, a bunch of us did a Brenda Gervais Quaker with a bird in the middle. And I was looking for something that was similar, and this was it. So, Deb, thanks for sharing with us. And Luann, I'm working on it. I should show this bag. I won this bag at the New Jersey Stitch New Jersey retreat. It is made by Deborah Harries. She's got an Etsy shop, and she takes vintage needlework and turns them into project bags. And it's an absolutely wonderful bag. It's got pockets on the inside, wrist strap. I love it. So that was fantastic. I usually buy those raffle tickets thinking it's a straight donation to whatever cause because I never win anything. And not only did I win that in New Jersey, I also won, I think, a 1/4 yard of parchment fabric. So that was great. All right. Excuse me while I go retrieve my project that fell on the floor. Okay, this one I started at the New Jersey retreat. I had done a flip through of this book when I found it at an antique store last year. It's not an antique, it was a brand new. So let me find the picture without the chart so that I can show you what it looks like. First of all, this is the book that it's from. And I believe this is 2022. I think it is. And this is the project that I'm going to be doing. I started it in New Jersey. It's a lot of counting, so I didn't get far. But I will get to it now that Christmas season is approaching. I'm about that far in. Decided to do it on gray rather than green because my living room is primarily gray. So hopefully that'll be done for Christmas. Maybe. This next one I started a year and a half ago in April at a retreat that I organized at the Salvation Army camp in, I think it's Ashford, Connecticut. Her name is Eliza Bretz. I found this, my mother was cleaning out the basement and she dropped off boxes of my stuff. And in one of those boxes was this chart. And I looked at it and it immediately reminded me of Sally Spencer. And so I decided that I was going to try to stitch it in colors that coordinated with Sally Spencer. And so I started it at the retreat and didn't pick it up again for a long, long time. But I'm mostly there. So I need to fill in some of these up here. I wasn't sure how I was going to personalize it. And then I need to figure out what I'm doing down here. I'm changing it So on the chart, you can see she put her name in here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to put a Bible verse in there and then just put my initials up here in the empty spots, but I have to figure that out. But that won't take me long. And I love how she looks, and you can see here, maybe you can see, but I tried to coordinate the colors with Sally Spencer so that they can hang together. This is on some sort of linen that I have no clue. Right, so we will move her. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to flash my pits. For those of you who have been following for a while, you know that I have been working on all of the states that we lived in as a Navy family, and it is now time for Illinois. So this is my retreat stitch. I outlined it I was going to start stitching on it in New Jersey, and I don't think I did. I don't remember, but it's been a good stitch just to fill in when I need to. After Illinois, I only have Virginia and Guam to go. And the last whip, this was started with a bunch of new and old stitchy friends in New Jersey. Yep, Dutch Beauty. I don't know what we were thinking, but we started it. And you guys, the fabric is like immense. And usually if I'm stitching a reproduction sampler, I will stitch it on linen. I try to save my favorite 20 count Aida for non-reproduction samplers. However, I was able to fit, if I stitched it on 20 count, I was able to fit it on a half a yard. Is this half a yard? It looks so big. I guess it is because it's not that big this way. So if I stitched it on 20 count, it would fit on half a yard. And if I stitched it on 36 count linen, which is my favorite, I would have needed a whole yard. So I started this in New Jersey, and this is how far I got. And I hate counting at retreats. And so I called it a day and said, I'm going to work on this at home. Have I worked on it since July? No. No, I have not. But I will. There is no goal on this as far as a finish date. The goal is to finish it before I die so that neither of the children have to finish it. That's the goal. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 6 whips. Plus I have another one out in the car, which I forgot to rescue before husband took it on his errands. I started a little Christmas ornament in New Jersey. It is one of the quilt squares that I designed years ago as a, I don't know, 2,000, 1,000 subscriber. Thank you. I don't know what it was. But it was the bee quilt square that's designed to go with the farmhouse series that Little House did. So this bee quilt square, I named Donna Ray's quilt square because of the bees. And it seemed fitting to start it in New Jersey because she was supposed to be there, but was unable to attend. So that's my Think and Pray for Donna Ray project. And it's little, so it's my out and about project. So that means I have 7 whips. I get nervous when I have to use more than one hand on my whips. So I'm going to try to finish something. I'm actually going to try to finish a lot of them by the end of the year because I hate carrying over. But I know obviously Dutch Beauty is going to be carried over. I know that Live on Little is going to be carried over. So I am hoping that everything else can be finished by the end of the year and I will only have 2 to carry over into the new year. No, I just looked at my plans list and there will be 3 carried into the new year. So I will talk about that in a minute. All right. So we had our local fair. I mentioned I always enter my needlework except for last year because I thought I pressed send on the email and it didn't go through. So I didn't enter last year, but this year I had some good stuff. I set a record because everything was ready to go 3 days before the fair. I was not working until last minute to get things FFO'd. I always say that I'm going to FFO. If I know I'm going to enter in the fair, I'm going to FFO it immediately so that I don't have that crunch time during, the week before the fair. Of course, I was working on stuff the week before the fair. But thankfully I had all the frames and everything that I needed. So it was pretty easy. This first one is Ann Peg. And this was just, I don't think I made any alterations to this one. I think I just ordered the frame off of Amazon. I loved that the red hue in the frame picked up on the red hues. And so she is all ready to be hung. And then this one, there's a story. This is Blackbird Designs. You probably all know this one, winter, summer, fall, winter. So I had first seen this one at our very first Frugal Yankee retreat back in, I think it was June of 2019 or April of 2019. Anyway, staff of Pam and staff had borrowed it from somebody and it was just gorgeous. So when it was re-released, I bought it immediately. And there we go. Frame from Michaels. It is stitched on 20 count Aida. So at the fair, somebody else had done the same one. She did it on linen. It was larger. I think she used 32 or 36 count. But anyway, they were hanging pretty close to one another. And I knew the gal who was building sitting. And I was like, oh, I need to meet this lady. I knew she lived close because on the tags it says your name and the town that you're from. And Julie, the lady, was like, oh, she was just here. I just had a conversation with her. Like, literally, she's in a white shirt. And so I ran to go see if I could find Linda. And lo and behold, I did find Linda. And we had a very nice chat. We live about 10 minutes apart. So you know how it is with stitchers. There are no strangers. There are only instant friends. And so Linda and I will be stitching together. She's never been to Stitch New England. So I think I'm going to kidnap her and take her. So Linda, if you're watching, it was lovely to meet you and we will be together soon, I'm sure. All right. So that was the Blackbird. This one I started last December. So if you only watch me here on Flosstube, you haven't seen it. If you follow me on Instagram, you've definitely seen this one because I was posting progress all throughout December. I had first seen this chart in a Better Homes and Garden magazine. I was living in Guam and I really wanted this color fabric for the background because that's what they did in the picture. But the called for was like a tan. So I can't tell you how many fabrics I ordered in Guam trying to find the perfect one, and I couldn't. So finally, I found the perfect fabric. I think it's from Bestitch Me. I think I might have put on Instagram what fabric it was, but it was the perfect one. And so this was my December stitch. Look at his face. I love him. Again, frame from Amazon. This one I was working on my last Flosstube. And I finished it. I think it's called Mighty Oak. It's a blackbird design. Let's fix this so the flower's in the middle. There we go. I changed the color of the house because I didn't love Schneckler. And I drew in the blue with some of these flowers. This is very much, the flowers are hooked on with wire. And this is just tied on so I can quickly take it out and put something else on. $2.99. That's what I paid for this cutting board, and it's a whopper too, and it's got burn marks and it's got some history. So this one will be hanging in my kitchen now that the fair is over and now that fall is here. This one I was also working on my last Flosstube. This is called Summer in the Country. I got it off of Etsy. I cut off the bottom. There was supposed to be like sheep and a stream, and I was done with it. So I'm very happy with the way it came out. I painted the frame that I found in my basement. There's no glass on it. But there you have it. I took these flowers from Beth Twist. If you need me, I'm in the bee garden. So that's where these flowers came from because I didn't want just tulips because I'm a flower farmer. I grow more than just tulips. All right, this one, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Again, it is an Etsy purchase. I don't remember what shop it came from, but if you just search up Cardinal Cross Stitch, it'll pop up. There's also a Blue Jay and one other one, but this ornament came from Hobby Lobby. This one is on here permanently because I knew, right, I'm not going to be switching out a Christmas ornament for a summer or spring design. So, and this one will stay up all winter long. I absolutely love the way it came out. And here's another one that you haven't seen. After I finished the Santa last year, I worked on All Bundled Up. I filled him in on retreats. Might even have been New Jersey. I don't know where I was filling this one in. Definitely at the Great Escape, I think. But again, not so permanently mounted because I will be switching this out for other things. And it's stitched on Vintage Country Mocha 20 count Ada. What a surprise. This was a fun one, and it didn't take me as long as I thought it would. I thought it would take forever filling in the white. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't quick, but it wasn't forever either. All right, and finally, the pièce de résistance. I need to iron my ribbon. This one you have seen if you followed me for a while. And I finally got it laced and matted. Oh, there we go. Look, minimal glare, and you can see the whole thing. So this is And They Sinned. I changed it, right? So I found the frame first and I fit the sampler to match the frame, which means I cut off the entire bottom with all those animals in that filled in section. And I also started at the bottom, which is not usually what I do. And I stitched my way up because I knew I was going to put the alphabet on top. Because I didn't know size wise, right? I needed to do what would fit. And so I think it came out fantastically. And I absolutely love it. And now that she is laced and framed and home from the fair, she can finally go on my wall, because this was we started this, I think it was January 1st, 2021. A bunch of us started it. And I didn't do much on it in 2021. And then in 2022, I made it a focus piece. I did Monogamous May on it in 2022. I didn't get it laced, and then I realized I didn't enter it actually into the fair. So it's been sitting for a whole year, and finally laced, framed, ready to go. So that one was a long time coming, and I'm very excited that it's done. And pretty ribbon. I collect pretty ribbons. Okay, so those are my whips. Those are my FFOs. I don't have any FOs to show you because everything got finished for the fair. Plans. I have one plan. And that is because Stitch New England is almost here, which blows my mind. When Pam first started planning for it, it seemed so far away. It was over a year away. And now it's 3 weeks away, 4 weeks, I don't know. It's almost here. So my friend Amy and my best friend Stacy, who, if you've been here a while, you met Stacy when we were doing Consider the Lilies. No, Sparrow. We started and finished Sparrow together. So we are all going to be at Stitch New England, and this is going to be our retreat start. This one came out and I absolutely fell in love with it, with one exception. This needs to be centered, right? Because I do symmetry. And it's over 1, which this is not a reproduction, so I'm stitching it on 20 count Aida. So I actually recharted the words into backstitch so that I can do it on Aida, and I will be centering it there. So those are the changes that I'm going to make. I need to pull threads. I may do that after I finish this video because hubby isn't here. Oh, this is apparently I've stitched it this way, or printed it this way and this way. So that's my plan. And so this will be number 3 to carry over into 2024, assuming everything else gets stitched. I really, really, really don't want to carry over 4 items, but it is what it is. Okay. So we talked about whips, we talked about FFOs, we talked about plans. Let's talk about the retreats that I've been to. Let me take a sip. This totally describes me this past year. I way overcommitted. And so 2024 is the year of not overcommitting for me. All right. So starting in, was it April or early May? I think it was April. We went to the Grape Escape out in Rochester near Hobby House. So I got to visit Hobby House for the first time. Um, the idea for the Grape Escape was hatched at Stitchin' at the Farm, and it finally came to fruition. And what a fantastic job. Wasn't publicly advertised. It was 30 of us, 20, 25 of us. Mostly from New York and Massachusetts and Connecticut, and it was a blast. Um, so that's a definite return this year. Then I did the New Jersey retreat again. Amy and I drove down again. Traffic wise, we lucked out. No troubles. We have mastered the art of cheap retreating. So we pulled into town and went straight to the Wawa, where we got a cold grinder for lunch that day. I'm sorry, a hot grinder for lunch that day. And then we got a cold grinder for lunch the next day. And then we went to Aldi's and we got some items. We had planned to do a nosh board one night, or a charcuterie board one night for dinner. And then we had planned taco salad. So we got some food at Aldi's. And by the end of the retreat, we decided we didn't even need the taco salad because we got 2 meals out of the grinder. The nosh board stuff was fantastic. And then Arlene does pizza one night. So yeah, we spent very, very little on food and it was great. So I have a feeling we'll be repeating that for Stitch New England. Speaking of Stitch New England, it's coming up. It is the weekend after Columbus Day. I'm so excited. So here's the deal. There are 5 spots left, 5 out of 300-ish. The problem is the hotel is sold out. So if you are local to the Foxborough area, 5 spots left. Get on the Stitch New England website and sign up. If you're a gambling person and you're not from the Foxborough area, and you want to go, there are hotels in the area that you could get a reservation at. And then I'm going to be willing to bet that there will be last minute cancellations at the retreat hotel. So that's a possibility too. The worst case scenario is that you would have to drive 5 or 10 minutes to a different hotel at the end of the night. Best case scenario is there might be a cancellation and you could get into our hotel. Again, everything is on Stitch New England website. There's going to be a Smiles Exchange. There's going to be shopping with trunk shows. Pam shop is going to be open. There's going to be dinner one night. It's going to be a really fun time for those of us in New England who really want the experience of a larger retreat. It's 300 people, so it's going to be great. And then the last and final retreat that I am going to this year is Stitchin' at the Farm. That is the first weekend in November. We have a family birthday and also band finals on Sunday. It looks like Little Ones Marching Band and Eldest's Marching Band are going to be at the same show. It's high school finals in Lawrence, Massachusetts, but UConn does an exhibition performance. So that's on Sunday. I can't miss that, assuming they're both going. So what I might do for Stitchin' at the Farm is arrive on Thursday. Most people do. Usually I arrive on Friday, but I think I will arrive on Thursday and then I will leave Saturday before lunch so that we can celebrate birthday that afternoon and then go to the band show that night or on Sunday. So we'll see. It's going to be a great time regardless. So yeah, and that's it. That's my stitchy plans for the rest of 2023 is to finish up as many of those whips as I can, start at home at Stitch New England, and go to 2 more retreats and finish out 2023 with a bang. I haven't even thought about 2024 plans yet. I do know that I get almost no stitching done in the summer, and so I need to take that into consideration when I'm making my plans. Very brief life update. Little one is a senior in high school. She's graduating in June. I just can't. We've looked at several colleges. She wants to major in chemistry, and so I think as of this moment, it looks like Syracuse is going to be it. It's a little farther from home than her sister, but that's okay. We went and toured it and loved it, and I think it would be a great place for her. So don't be surprised if you see us wearing a lot of orange in the future. Eldest is loving UConn. She passed her first actuarial exam this summer. She's still tutoring on campus. She's treasurer for the archery club. And of course, still doing marching band. So both kids living their best life. My flower farming stuff is still going. I'm loving it. But not a lot of stitching time in the summer. That's the only downfall of having a flower farm. Anyway, it's been 37 minutes. I think that's enough. Hopefully we will be back soon with some updates. I am not promising anything, but I'm going to try to be better than I have been in the past. If you're at any of the upcoming retreats, please say hello. I've missed you all. All right. Bye, Flosstube.